Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. It is September already, it's time for another top 10 of movies that you can watch on Netflix UK. So let's just get started with number 10, which is Boyka, Undisputed 4. Boyka is aiming for the big league when an accidental death in the ring makes him question everything he stands for. I've got a real soft spot for these Undisputed movies. I'm not keen in the first one, but parts 2, 3 and 4, terrific. They just give you a character that you want to see succeed, you want to see him kick everybody else's ass and just save the day, and you get awesome, athletic, really exciting fight scenes that just probably wouldn't happen in real life, but they look spectacular on film and they're highly entertaining and wonderful to watch. Number 9 is Selfless. A dying real estate mogul transfers his consciousness into a healthy young body, but soon finds that neither the procedure nor the company that performed it are quite what they seem. I think the most interesting thing about Selfless is the premise itself. You have these two minds fighting for control over this body, which is kind of like a sub-story that should have been involved into a bigger part of it, but never quite made it. The old person is Ben Kingsley, the young body that they go into is Ryan Reynolds, and he starts to get flashbacks of all these memories. He starts to investigate and finds out that this wasn't a body groomed specifically for this task. This was somebody else's life who was basically pushed aside and hijacked of their body. It's an interesting mystery. It's got some good action set pieces to it, and it's one of these interesting popcorn flicks you can just throw on, switch off your brain and enjoy. Number 8 is Spy. A desk-bound CIA analyst volunteers to go undercover to infiltrate the world of a deadly arms dealer and prevent a diabolical global disaster. Melissa McCarthy stars in amongst a pretty stacked cast as this analyst who goes into the field, and she's pretty good. She does a little bit of her shtick, but it's made up with these good action set pieces and this whole host of really good actors round about her. One standout for me is Jason Statham, who it just shows he has such incredible comedic timing, and performance-wise, he is an absolute joy to watch in this movie. The movie itself is a little bit overlong, but it's one of McCarthy's better movies. It's got some good jokes, it's got some good callbacks, it's got actors that look as if they're having a lot of fun, which really does make the movie pop a little bit more than similar stuff, and I can thoroughly recommend it. Number 7 is Naked. Nervous about finally getting married, a guy is forced to relive the same nerve-wracking hour over and over again until he gets things right on his wedding day. Marlon Wayans stars as the man that's about to get married when he wakes up naked in an elevator and begins to relive the same day over and over again. Much like Groundhog Day, it's definitely taken a cue from that movie, and it's nowhere near as good, but it's one of these ones that was better than I expected it to be. I had a lot of fun with the first half, although the second half gets a little bit repetitive. It's a short movie, it's got some good laughs and jokes in amongst it. It does have Marlon Wayans screaming a lot at the camera, but other than that, it's a good one-time watch if you like kind of similar stuff that he's done before. Number 6 on my list is True Story. When disgraced New York Times reporter Michael Finkel meets accused killer Christian Longo, who has taken on Finkel's identity, his investigation morphs into a game of cat and mouse. The title says it all. It is based on a true story, and it is basically a sort of verbal sparring match between these two characters. You have a disgraced reporter and you have a habitual liar killer as they manipulate each other and try to work each other for a better current existence. You know, you have one person who wants a big story, wants to get back into the good graces of the journalistic field, and you have a killer who wants to manipulate this person to try and get a better perspective of this character into the media. Jonah Hill and James Franco are the two characters, and they are tremendous and more than a match for each other in this terrific character study that leaves a bit of a bitter taste. Number 5 is Trainwreck. Having thought that monogamy was never possible, a commitment-phobic career woman may have to face her fears when she meets a good guy. Amy Schumer plays the lead in this movie, a sort of rom-com with a little bit more to it. It's a little bit more biting commentary, it's a little bit more emotion than most of these typical things, but it still has a lot of laughs and a lot of sort of main laughs are in the side characters that populate this movie, who I found are very funny. Amy Schumer herself does terrifically well as this alcoholic, playgirl type of person who is enjoying her life just a little bit too much. Number 4 on my list is Dope. Life changes for Malcolm, a geek who's surviving life in a tough neighbourhood after a chance invitation to an underground party leads him and his friends into a Los Angeles adventure. I've watched Dope a couple of times. I think it's a terrific movie with a really great aesthetic to it. It looks stunning. It has these 3 lead characters who are part of a band, and their music kind of populates the movie as well. And they're kind of into nostalgia. You know, they love 80s hip hop, they love 80s clothes, and they embrace it thoroughly through the way they dress, their hairstyles, the music they listen to, the conversations they have. It's obvious they've got a love for that period of time. The story itself is a kind of coming of age comedy drama that, although feels kind of familiar, it never outstays its welcome. It brings some fresh approach to that material, and it is genuinely just a fun, entertaining movie. Number 3 is It. In 1960, 7 preteen outcasts fight an evil demon who poses as a child-killing clown. 30 years later, to fight the demon once and for all when it returns to their hometown. Not technically a movie, but a 2-part miniseries, but I think with the movie coming out, it's as good a time ever is to revisit It. I really like this miniseries. It's one of the better Stephen King's one, and it's down to a terrific performance of Pennywise by Tim Curry. And I'm really looking forward to the new movie to see how that compares. Like I said, it's a 2-part miniseries. The first part, it focuses on the young kids in the town in the 60s, and I think this is the most enjoyable aspect of the movie because it feels almost a little bit like Stand By Me, with the kids just hanging around and then being tormented and coming together. The second one, when they're adults, is good as they come to face their fears in both their current lives, their past histories, and this demon that is out to get them. But I just don't connect as much to that as I do with the first part. Still, with the movie coming out, I think it's a great time to revisit this, and I'm bending my own rules here to fit it into this list. Number 2 is What Happened to Monday. In a world where families are limited to 1 child due to overpopulation, a set of identical septuplets must avoid being put to a long sleep by the government and dangerous infighting while investigating the disappearance of one of their own. Noomi Rapace plays the 7 sisters in this movie, each who are named after a day of the week. And on that given day, they are allowed to go out and live this singular life. They all play the same character and report to each other each night before the next person goes out into the world living that life. And when Monday disappears, the other 6 sisters are left with worry and fear about what's happened to her. In this dystopian world with Orwellian overtones, as it is fully militarised, they are a control on food as it's a limited substance, which is why nobody's allowed more than 1 child. And it's a really interesting plot, and it's filmed very well. It looks very exciting, and the movie's very exciting, and it kept me guessing as to where it was going. Nobody is safe. Everybody can and may die in this movie. It's also getting bonus points because Willem Dafoe is in the movie as well for a short period of time as the person who raises these girls from childbirth, teaching them how to covertly hide their identities and become this one singular person. It's a great story with a really crap title. So please go and check out this movie. Forget the name What Happened to Monday. It sounds like a bad rom-com. This is a really good, interesting science fiction thriller, mystery movie. Yeah. Number 1 is Death Note. Light Turner stumbles across a mystical notebook that has a power to kill any person whose name he writes in it. Light decides to launch a street crusade to rid the streets of criminals. Adam Wingard directs this adaptation of a well-known anime comic book movie series from Japan. I don't know anything about it. What I do know is that this is a very stylistic, very interesting, very new story that I haven't really seen done before. Wingard has a very good sense of atmosphere and style, and he uses it to very great effect here. It feels realistic, yet it has this giant demon in this book that can kill people, so it's even better that it comes together. Now the movie has a little bit of a sort of lull in the middle of the movie, but I feel it really picks up towards the end as it gets to this grandiose action finale. I think Death Note was a real treat both visually and in its storytelling, and it was a movie that really grew on me. And it should be said that this is pretty gory as well. They don't pull any punches here. I think it's a terrific watch, a real interesting story, and it's made me interested to go back and check the history of this project and check out the anime and the other movies, because it's that interesting a movie and that interesting a tale. So that's what I've picked for this month on Netflix. Hopefully you'll be able to check out and find some new movies that you haven't seen before, and you can let me know in the comment box below if you find something that you really like, something you hate, or something you think that I have missed that should have been on my list. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Man vs Film.